Hey everyone, it's Eric. Happy Vlogmas Day 4. Today's candle is Merry Cookie. I think it's going to be a great candle for tonight's cookie, you guys. You know, Merry Cookie, I've always felt like the fragrance on Merry Cookie is very simple. It's a simple fragrance. It could really be almost anything from a sugar cookie to kind of like a butter cookie, but it just has to me a very simple bakery cookie scent. A little of that vanilla in there. Your scent notes on this are fresh baked cookies, sparkling sugar crystals, and rich vanilla. And this particular jar style was, I believe, last year's. This one here, this is one of this year's. I just couldn't bring myself to burn this candle yet because I just love this pretty blue glass. I know sometimes I can be a little strange with these candles where I just want to hold on to them for a little while before I use them. And it gives me a good reason to use up the older candles anyways. So it's always good to use up some of the older stock. But yeah, you know, in this large space, Merry Cookie kind of just wafts around. Like I'll get pockets of fragrance around the room. It doesn't really fill it out completely in this large of a space. It's an open concept space. And in general, a lot of candles, it seems these days, struggle in these larger rooms. But if I was to put this candle upstairs in the bedroom where it's a more enclosed space, it would fill that room out just fine. Let's head on over to the kitchen. We are going to be baking cream cheese cookies. These are a very easy cookie to make and I think are just perfect for the holiday season. And then we'll come back here, do a little taste test, have some cocoa. I do have a few Christmas cards from the Christmas card exchange to show you. They are just beautiful cards. Can't wait to show you those. And yeah, so let's get on over to the kitchen, you guys. Cream cheese cookies are super easy to make, and odds are you already have all the ingredients in your kitchen. For this recipe, you will need 1 stick of butter softened to room temperature and 4 ounces of cream cheese softened to room temperature, 1 cup sugar, 1 egg, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, 1 3/4 cup flour, half a teaspoon salt, and half a teaspoon baking powder sifted together, and a little powdered sugar for garnish. First, we're going to cream the butter and cream cheese together. Next, we're going to add 1 cup sugar. Just going to scrape the bowl down really quick. Next, we're adding 1 3/4 cup flour, the half a teaspoon of salt, and the half a teaspoon baking powder. And before I use the mixer on this, I'm going to give it a quick stir so it just doesn't puff up in a big cloud of flour. I'm just going to give it a quick stir, kind of get all the dough off the sides of the bowl here. It's pretty thick. It's a pretty thick dough. We want all those goodies. And now we're going to just take some cling wrap here and we're going to cover this. I'm just going to put it right down in the bowl. Keep the dough from drying out. Actually, I'll put one over the bowl too. Okay, this will go in the fridge for 1 hour. Okay, our dough has chilled for a little over an hour now, and it's nice and firm again. So we're going to spoon this out and roll them into 2-inch balls, and then place them on a cookie sheet with parchment paper. Let me just get this saran wrap there off. So you want like 2 tablespoonfuls. I don't actually have a 2 tablespoon measuring spoon, so I'll just use 2 of these. So let's see here. Let's just make a ball and just going to place them right here on the parchment paper. This dough is a little gooey, so if it's too gooey for you, just put a little water on your hands and it'll help keep it from sticking. Then you want to place them about 2 inches apart so that when they spread out they don't touch while they're baking. So I'm going to go ahead and finish rolling out the dough, and then they'll be ready for the oven. The oven has been preheated to 375 degrees. These will go in for about 10 minutes or until we start to see them turn golden brown around the edges. Okay. I have another batch ready to go in. Look at these, you guys. They're just real simple, and they're just starting to get a little golden brown around the base, around the edges, and that's when you want to pull these out. I'm going to let these cool for a few minutes before we transfer them to a wire rack. Now, weren't those cookies easy? I mean, really.
You think so? Actually, you think so? Ho!
You just roll them into a ball, put them on your cookie sheet, and the oven does the rest. No cookie press, no cake pans, nothing. Just such a simple cookie to make. And here is the finished product, you guys. Now, the recipe doesn't make a lot of cookies. I got 17 cookies out of this. But for me, being in a very small household, 17 cookies is sufficient for us. But if you know, we're going to make them for a much larger, like, gift giving, like cookies and tins and things like that, you would definitely have to double the recipe for sure. But it's such an easy recipe, you guys. It really is. The only thing that takes time is letting that dough chill in the fridge for an hour. And the dough is sticky, a little sticky when you're working with it. So if you need to, just sprinkle a little water on your hands as you're rolling the cookies, and it'll keep your hands from getting real sticky. I didn't mind it so much, so I just rolled away. Let's get some hot cocoa going before we try these cookies. Tonight's mug, you guys, from one of my favorite Christmas movies is Christmas Vacation, and this just says, "Why is the carpet all wet, Todd?"
And why is the carpet all wet, Todd?
I just absolutely love this mug, you guys. I do. I love this mug. And such a funny scene in the movie. So let's get some cocoa out of the trusty cocoa bag. Oh, let's see here. What did we get tonight? Cinnamon hot cocoa. That should be very nice. That'll actually go, I think, really well with our cream cheese cookies. So, there we go. How is everyone doing this evening? I hope you're all doing great and just all snuggy on the couch. That's where I would be if I wasn't sitting here right now. I would be under a blanket watching my favorite shows on the couch, which I will be doing later.
It's time for another world.
You can't watch Another World.
And why not?
Because you watched it yesterday.
That's exactly why I have to watch it today, Dorothy, to find out what happens. That's why they always say stay tuned for the continuing story of Another World.
Oh, you know what? I did it. My first mishap of the evening, I forgot a spoon. I will be right back, you guys. Okay, I got my spoon, you guys. Give this a quick stir. There we go. And, trusty tea kettle. Put a little more hot water in that. Okay. Alright, you guys. Moment of truth. Let's try one of these cookies, you guys. So... These cookies have such a simple flavor to them, just like this candle. If you don't like a super sweet cookie, then this is the cookie for you, because that cream cheese really cuts the sweetness of the sugar. And the powdered sugar on top is optional, but I really think it helps bring out the flavor of the cookie. The consistency of this cookie, it's a very heavy cookie dough. It's almost to the level of like a biscuit, but it's just delicious. Really, really delicious and soft. You know, a little chewy and just has a nice little crunch from the outside. Oh, so good, you guys. Those are totally worth making. Absolutely. I mean, like I said at the beginning, odds are in your kitchen you probably have most of these ingredients already. And it is such an easy cookie to make, and they are so, so delicious. That cream cheese in it just makes that cookie. Totally worth trying out, you guys. Alright, let's try some hot cocoa.
Here, pussycat, taste this.
I'm sorry, you guys, I had to find a spot for my spoon. It's still a little hot. I mostly get the chocolate, but it could be because it's just so hot.
Oh, Mom.
Bring to a near boil. Perfect.
So we're going to let that hot chocolate cool a little bit more. Okay, let's look at some Christmas cards, you guys. This first card is from Anne, and on this envelope, there's an owl. I just love that. You know, as a kid, I loved owls so much that my parents and my grandparents, my aunts and uncles, it seems, would always buy me some kind of owl figurine. And it got to the point where I had so many little owls that I finally had to tell everyone just to stop, because I had too many owls. But I do love owls. They're such pretty birds. Okay, let's see here. And this says Happy Winter Solstice. How pretty is that, you guys, with the owl? I just think that is so cool. Thank you so much, Anne. I just love that. I love that. It's so pretty. Thank you so much, Anne. Thank you. This next card is from Shiza. And wait till you see this, you guys. This is a work of art. Look at that. Look at this train. And it's all done in paper, swirls of paper to make this train, which, you know, of course, the train this year with Bath and Body Works, you guys, I mean, you know, the little train, I mean, the whole theme this year, at least at the beginning of the season, was all about trains at Bath and Body Works, and so I am all about this train. I have the train up here in the background. I don't know if it's visible in the camera or not, but yeah, that's where I ended up putting the train for now because it's so big. It really just doesn't fit very well other than on the shelf or maybe on the coffee table. It's very large, you know, and for those of you that bought it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's large and it's heavy. But this card, you guys, how pretty. Let's see if I can get a little closer here for you guys. So pretty, you guys. Thank you, Shiza, so much. And the note in here was just very, you know, very heartwarming, and I just love it. So thank you so much. And yes, these cards, you know, I'm just gonna keep them. I'm just gonna keep them. They're gonna be little keepsakes for me because it's just so special. All these cards have just been so wonderful. And thank you so much to everyone who has participated in the Christmas card exchange. It's just been a lot of fun. And hopefully you guys are starting to get your cards. I have been sending them out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and try this scalding hot cup of cocoa. It should have cooled down by now. Oh yeah, much better. And the cinnamon's really light in this cinnamon cocoa. Yeah, it just got a kind of a aftertaste of the cinnamon, but it goes great with these cookies. You guys, one moment. Between the raspberry thumbprint cookies that we had on the first day, which those are already long gone in this house. These are equally good. They really are. They're so tasty. I mean, they're different in their own way. They're not as sweet, but the texture of these cookies, you guys, is amazing. So the outside of these cookies is crunchy, and the inside is like this really soft bread. Not bread, but just kind of a nice heavier dough. Oh, they're delicious. Even if you don't like to bake, try them. They're really not hard to make. Totally worth trying those out, you guys. Well, that is it for the 4th day of Vlogmas. But I hope you will join me again tomorrow evening when we will be back in the kitchen cooking up something new. And until then, have a pleasant evening, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Rose, you're a pretty sharp deal maker. We've all underestimated you. Now, come over here. Taste this. Oh!
Ma, stop that!